因为我们20分正式开始。手机等一下
那我先
你推流了吗？
开直播，把链接
对对对，
退出来啊。
对，你先开播吧，然后我们20分正式开始。我刚好也分享去。Do you have a YouTube link? Yeah, maybe I find in WhatsApp. Hello, hello, hello. Is the voice clear? Yeah, hello. Oh, sorry for the WeChat group parents because yeah, this webinar is both on YouTube and WeChat, so I can only speak English here, but I made Chinese inside our slide. So yeah, you can see the Chinese here, but yeah, the language may be English. But however, if you ask a question, so you can ask question in Chinese in the WeChat live stream, and I can answer. So if I see a Chinese parent ask in the Q&A session, so if I see a Chinese question, so I can answer it in Chinese. So 就我们在问答，就是最后的问答环节，家长们如果有问题的话，你用中文问，我可以用中文答哈。但是这整个讲座会有英文去讲。Sorry for that. Okay, major started. So today, yeah, it's close to the Chinese New Year, right? So I'm thinking about maybe just how the seminar after the Chinese New Year. But actually, I will feel that Chinese New Year is a very good time. The vacation is good for the kids to actually to do the practice. So the RIPMWC or aka RMO, so this year's RMO, right? Will happen just less than 2 weeks. So which means the more time to prepare, the better for the kid. So that is why, so I sit here just right before the Chinese New Year to hold this seminar. And sorry, it should be on yesterday, but I got a very severe cold, so I can hardly speak yesterday, so it's moved to the day, so very sorry for that. So today, yeah, I'm going to share for you the upper primary competition preparation project of the Sync Academy in 2024. So by this upper primary competition, which means the big three MOs, which is the RMO is the RIPMWC or the NMOS and SMOPS. And because the time is limited today, so there is an Satsmo live stream before, so I only have a shortened time, which means, so maybe today I will just focus on the RMO more because, right, so it happened just less than 2 months. Yeah, maybe just 1 month for preparation. So maybe I just focus on the RMO, but you will see the preparation logic is the same for the big three MOs, right? So I don't know, so how many people there are P4, P5, or P6? So can you just tell me, so which grades are for your kid? So just type P4, P5, or P6 in chat box. P4, okay, thank you. So sorry, can you see me turning the pages? Because for now, I just see that it's stuck in the first page. 对呀，倩，你能看到我翻译吗？ Right now， 现在我看着直播间停留在首页。This means I need to share it again. Okay. Let's see if it's better. Yeah, better. Okay. Okay. Okay, thank you. So firstly, we need to know the timeline this year, which it can be shown here. So maybe we just forget about the registration time. It's just the times, which means the first round of RMO. So RMO is RIPMWC. So this year they changed the name. So maybe because the short, so we also call them in short with RIP, which is not a good word. So maybe like that. Or maybe just want to be more likely to the all-known IMO. Yeah, I don't know. So the first round of RMO is the first we should face at the March 26th. And then on the April 18th is the second round of RMO and the SMOPS, the first round of SMOPS or APMOPS. And yeah, it should be known that, so the time has been changed a little. So the second round of RMO we moved to the day next to it is the 19th April. So they made adjustments just right yesterday. Yeah, maybe they just made the adjustment yesterday. But because the time crashed for the RMO and SMOPS. So to be sincere, so when I see that the 2 times crashed, I thought that it's not an accident. They intend to do this because they want to make good students to just enter RMO instead of SMOPS. Yeah, never mind. So actually this year they have the separated time, and then so actually we should get prepared. So in March is the RMO, April is the SMOPS, and May is the second round of SMOPS. But yeah, if you manage to enter the second round of both RMO and SMOPS, maybe you just don't need that worry for your grade because you have proved yourself. And maybe I just do a brief introduction of the three big MOs. So firstly, the NMOS, right? So the NMOS, we have each year is for P4 and P5 students. So but if you are in even lower grade, you can enter it. So last year, I have a P4 student to enter top 20, a P3 student to get the NMOS gold, which means, so if you're good enough, so you can just join NMOS earlier than normal students, right? Each year there will be 5,000 students, and we will get 80 students to get the gold medals, but this number may increase because this last year we have 97 gold medals instead of 80. So the reason may be that starting from the 2023, they allow the international school student to register for it. So for example, the Singapore American School, something maybe the well, they have all can get access to the NMOS this year, which means they just increase the number of participation and they increase the gold medals. And for NMOS, there's very important things that the top 12 of each year's NMOS will representing Singapore to enter the IMSO. And IMSO, so this year, Singapore get 10 golds and 2 silvers for IMSO. So 4 of them are my students, so I'm proud of it. And so the grade for the IMSO, if you can get an IMSO gold in the P5, or even in the top 2 in the P5, then there will be a very high possibility that you can just pass the DSA in the P6. Or if you are excellent enough. So do you know that the NUSH and the RI, so I don't know about Hua Chong, but yeah, the NUSH and RI will just talk to those who get the gold in IMSO, and you can just ensure your kid can go to NUSH or RI even in the P5, which means maybe you can spend your whole P6 in learning secondary mathematics, it will be okay, or secondary science, like that. But IMSO is very important, it's for the real elite kid. Yeah, I have prepared some slides for this, but the time is limited, so maybe today I will skip this. And then it's the APMOPS or APMOPS. It's mainly for the P6 students. So about 3,000 to participate, 45 platinum and 75 gold medals, which means, right, so you can see maybe only the platinum works for the DSA, but gold is good enough. Yeah, gold is good enough. So maybe at least gold. So silver, actually there's no use for silver. And for gold, maybe just the qualification for DSA test, but you cannot just maybe get free of test for the DSA. And this is RMO, so the old name RIPMWC, right? So each year have 6,000 students for the first round, and 2% of it is a high distinction. And for those high distinction can enter for the second round. And so they classify the student by P6 and P5. So P5 is called the junior group. Also P4 can enter the junior group. So all the below P5 is the junior group. And then the P6 is the open group, open category. And then, so this is the number. So as there is few people to enter the second round, so maybe we just treat the first round very serious. So as long as we can get the high distinction in the first round, it's not for the DSA. So the key point for the 3 BMOs is just it's what works for your DSA application. So as long as you get, say, NMOS top 20, or maybe NMOS top 30, or maybe NMOS Gold. NMOS Gold is now for the NUSH, because NUSH only needs the DSA students. So if you get the gold for NMOS, gold or brown for SMOPS, high distinction for RIPMWC. So actually you will get a ticket for DSA, and you have a high possibility to enter these 3 schools, at least for NUSH. So you can easily enter the NUSH with this. But if you, I see some of my students some of my parents actually, so they don't think NUSH is good enough. They just prefer RI better. But the DSA number, mathematics DSA number in RIPMWC, RI is limited. So maybe you need to get not only the high distinction or gold in NMOS, maybe platinum in SMOPS, or maybe the top 1 in the RMO will be better. So now this is the brief introduction of the 3 competitions. And so now here, I have concluded the question type and number or the time for all these competitions. So first, in NMOS, first round, we have 30 questions, 30 short answered, and then so is 20 questions in the round 2. And then, so you need to get maybe more than half of the scores to pass the first round. And for Chinese, no. So the slides, you can see slides in Chinese, but the language is not Chinese. So this means English. So you can see from here. So for NMOS, it's easier for you to pass the first round or to get a gold medal because you only need half. Yeah, you need that half of the score to achieve it. And the time is more abundant because you have 90 minutes for 30 questions or 90 minutes for 20 questions when comparing with SMOPS and RMO. For SMOPS, round 1 is also 90 minutes for 30 questions, but the difficulty is a lot above the first round or even the second round. And you will see that you need to get more than 60% of the score to maybe around 70% to reach the gold level. And for SMOPS round 2, right? So starting with SMOPS round 2, we will see the 6 questions are all open-ended questions. So though there are only 6 questions, it's very difficult because you need to write your process, write your proofs. It's very difficult for the primary school student, actually. And then for the RMO, for RMO, round 1 is 20 MCQs for only 16 minutes. And then for round 2, right? So junior and open, they're different. So for junior, they only have 15 short answers. But for open, we have open category, we have 4 open-ended questions here. Which means, so you can see the top competition, SMOPS and RMO in their special round, in their second round, they will ask you to write process, which is challenging for kids. So now, and comparing with the scoring lines here, you will see. So for NMOS, you just have score to get gold, but for RMO, SMOPS, you 70% or even 80% for you to achieve the highest medal, which is much more difficult. So this suggests the difficulty for us. And for the timeline here, we will see that RMO is in March, SMOPS is in April, and NMOS is in late June for the first round, and it's the late July for the special round, which means, right, according to this timeline, so it's the RMO and SMOPS you need to prepare first. So for P4 and P5 students, just focus on RMO because SMOPS. So most of schools don't allow the P5 or below kids to enter the SMOPS. But for RI, it's more free because RI have the junior category. So in junior category, so it's the competition for the P5 and the below, so it's easier for them, right? Okay, now this is the brief introduction of the 3 MOs. And then let me show you the preparation guide. So preparation project for single academies, SMOPS and the RMO. So they happen near the same time. So we will see that. So I don't know how many of you have just take our RIPMWC SMOPS preparation book A, right? So it happened in the last year. And so now after the right after Chinese New Year, so you can get the RMO book B from our center for free. And also, right, so a week afterward, we will have the topical review and tutorial of the this book B, right? So this will last for, actually for a month, right? So 1 week, 1 chapter. And then we will have the mock test for the RMO. So the first mock test happened in the February 25th, and it's free for everyone. So you can just register for the mock test, all of you for free, and there are free tutorial for it. So the first mock test. And we will give you the report for your kid to tell you, so what's your direction of preparation in the coming last month, right? And right after that, so we will have more mock tests, but they are, so the March 3rd, March 10th, March 17th, right? We have 3 alternative mock tests. So each mock test will have different type of questions. The different questions with maybe the similar question type and the similar difficulty just to the RMO first round. And but the last 3, so will cost some fees, but it's very cheap. So maybe the $15 for the mock test and tutorial for one, something like that. So now we prepare the mock test, and also, right, so as there should be the public holiday, right? So there will be a public holiday in the middle of March, and then in that period we will have a short-term spring class for for the both the RMO and the APMOPS. So during the period, and you will be able to get the coupons with the grade in the mock test. If you get well in the mock test, yeah, it will be cheaper for you to enter our spring class in the public holiday in March. Okay, and then it's after the RMO is the APMOPS mock test. Yeah, and also we have the round 1 intensive camp for the RMO. So that's it. So I have to mention that for all the Sync Academy students, so no matter you are a long-term student here, or you just coming for our short-term course, or just coming for the spring class, right? So, and you enter the second round for RMO, you will get free tuition for this round 2 intensive camp, all for free, and offline, in person, all for free. So we encourage those who achieve their goals, and we will do our best to help our kids to get a better grade in the second round. Okay, only for the second round. And also the same logic works for the SMOPS, the APMOPS mock test, and the intensive camp, free for those who enter the special round, the second round. Okay, and also there is a Chinese version. Yeah, there is a Chinese version. So you can just screenshot the Chinese version of the timeline, because the picture is different. Okay. Okay then, yeah, this is what is the coming competitions and what's our project, what's the timelines, and then this is for us, but for the students, so how do they prepare? So what can they prepare? So I think this is the most important, and it's the things the parents cares most this night, right? So now, yeah, we are going to talk about what the kids need to know for the RMO, NMOS, or the SMOPS. They are the same, actually. So now the core modules and abilities, this is what's required for the competition. So the modules are just the 6 modules of Math Olympiad, which you're all familiar with. But the abilities, so I think, yeah, especially for the RMO and SMOPS, it's very important for us to get the abilities instead of knowledges. So we have the calculation accuracy, the model application, the analytical reasoning, and the inductive summarization, and of course, condition reflex. But for condition reflex, it's only for the last time, right? So we do many questions, and then we just recall the question when we see similar one, but this is the last of it, So I believe, developability is very important. Also, I don't know which grade you are in, but I think we can set the goals for our kids. So now I will show you that this is the goal I set for my students, current my students. So those who have failed to achieve this goal, maybe I just ask them to turn to another class. It's not that. So to enter the P3 GEP, and to get a gold in NMOS at the P4, get a top 20 for NMOS in P5, and get a platinum in SMOPS in P6, and also maybe the top 1 in RI in P6. There's a cannot write it here. But also, if for a normal kid who have the intention to challenge for these competitions, so there is another goal. So maybe P3, just the top 1,000 of GEP, fantastic. And the NMOS, just that silver in the P4 will be good enough. And then to get gold in NMOS, in gold P5, and P6 is the SMOPS gold. Yeah, I think it's good enough for a normal kid. So though it may not be enough for a direct DSA, but you can get the ticket for DSA, I believe. Okay, and then so as long as we have the 6 modules and the 5 core abilities, so how can we focus, especially for the last month for the RMO? Now, we can show you the result. Not the result. So what we have done. So actually, in Sync Academy, we have done the thorough research for all the past year papers for the 3 competitions. So as the time is limited, I just show you the RMO ones. So you will see. So actually, we analyze every year's paper by which module they are. So which question type they are talking about, and So I just highlighted those with the high difficulty, with the difficulty 4 and difficulty 5. So here's something that how do we define the difficulty level? So in my opinion, so all the standard here. So the difficulty 1 means everyone can solve it. Everyone can solve it at difficulty 1. And difficulty 2 is similar to difficulty 1. So as long as you learn this before. So as long as you learn this before, you are able to do this. So as long as you have the systematical training of MO, you will be able to solve the level 2. And for level 3, which is maybe with the highest percentage in the both RMO, SMOPs, and SMOPs. So for the difficult level 3 is that, so they need you to maybe not directly use the thing you know to solve it. You need a certain method, or you need a certain way of thinking. I should get the answer. For example, so how to use the place value principle for a multi-digit number, or how to find a similar model in a complex geometry, and or maybe so how to classify the question, how to classify different situations in a counting problem. So you need to get a certain method to solve this. Okay. And for difficulty 4 and 5, 4 is the advanced use of difficulty 3. There is some key point that makes it hard to think about, or you need a breakthrough point for you to get all the answer. And for this difficulty 5, so I believe difficulty 5 is some toys for the true elite student, because you'll see each year there will always be maybe 1 or 2 difficulty 5, level 5 questions. And I expect 90% of students fail to do this. Even for the last 10%, they may not get it correctly. So for normal, we can just skip the difficulty level 5. It's very okay for us because most of our competitors cannot solve this as well. So never mind. Okay. And then for RMO actually, so we have the module analysis, the pie chart for the 10 years. You will see that in RIPMWC, the most important is the calculation, and then it's the geometry and the number theory. So the calculation, geometry, number theory, the 3 most important things in the RMO. So things are slightly different in the SMOPs. So if you check the small past year papers, so it's the number theory, counting, and the geometry. So you will see that in SMOPs there is few calculations, but they consider more about countings, right? And also the combinatoric. So, but yes, you will see combinatoric is just of a few percent. The green is for combinatoric. It's only a few percentage because combinatoric is most difficult. So do you know what is the most difficult module for the primary school students? Actually, 2 of them. So one is the combinatoric, and the second is the countings. For countings, it's because they cannot do it correctly. There are so many places to make mistakes. And for combinatorics, it's just they cannot think about the right method to solve it. Yeah. So as you can see, so the percentage of combinatoric and countings is just lower in the RIPMWC in RMO, but higher in the SMOPs, which means actually, for my opinion, SMOPs have a higher difficulty than the RIPMWC, the RMO, or maybe at least similar. So we always treat the RMO to be the most difficult in the Singapore 3 MOs, but I think the SMOPs just maybe the same. And also, when we analyze the difficulty of the questions, so the first round we will see that so over half of the questions are the difficult level 3, and 40% are the difficult level 2, which means they are just the easy question and the medium question. So you just focus on them. You have enhanced basis knowledge, so you will get a reasonable score for it. So actually, for RMO, though it's difficult, this game is not about for the most difficult questions. It's just about to solve the basic and the medium questions. And in the second round, things will be a little bit different because second round, they have already passed the first round. So we will see that the increasing percentage of the difficulty level 4, but not for level 5. Level 5 is always the same, maybe 1 or 2 questions here, right? So now for RIPMWC, for RMO, so I think it's better for a kid to get all the easy and normal questions correct. It's better than those who can solve the difficult question but have a lower correct rate in the easy and medium. Okay, so this is the breakdown for the RMO. Also, yeah, as for the topic, we know that there are many things in the calculation in the number theory, right? So we have as the topic in the each year's paper, and we will see, so this, the small topic is what is tested each year, right, with 100%, actually 100%. So in each year, so we have fraction decomposition, similarity model, and the sequence, and the word problem, and the remainder calculation, angles, and divisibility rules. So this is the first round. And in second round, you will see that the increasing, that there are new topic, which is the permutation and combination, is about counting, and to find an equation, indeterminate equation, aka. So now you will see that, so why we just imply the countings in the second round instead of the first round, because counting are difficult, but kids cannot get it correctly. So that's why, so second round is more difficult. Okay, and then we can highlight some acknowledgement, which is very important for the kids. And these are, so this question, actually, they are not that easy. So I skip all the easy questions for the fraction, basic fraction calculation or fraction word problem. They are easy, so I just skip them. So I just show you something that is difficult, but will occur each year in the paper. So first is the recursion. So yeah, I write the Chinese name here, so for the Chinese parent to understand. Okay, so recursion. So you can see the 3 years paper, the basic, the 2015, the basic ladder problem, or to be used into the number forming, the non-consecutive number forming. So they have the same logic. It's the same logic as a ladder, but the kids may feel hard to understand, actually. And yeah, indeed, this is the 2019. So there's a very difficult questions about the recursion, a hidden relationship of recursion in number forming, or maybe it's a sequence pattern. So actually, it's sequence pattern. So yeah, it's very difficult. This is a very difficult question. So you can see that for a topic, for simple topic, I will talk about it later. So in RMO, so they do not just ask you the basic question like NMOS. You know, in NMOS, they just, so those questions are all the NMOS questions are those, maybe we just teach as explorers in our class. But in RMO, not. So they made changes for a certain topic, you will see. So it's all about recursion, but for the easiest question and the most difficult question, they vary a lot. And the same work for the fraction decomposition. So the basic fraction decomposition is the same numerator and the multiplication in the denominator. But now you will see that they vary here. So maybe in the RIPMWC for the fraction decomposition, it can be shown in the sum of certain numbers. You should do the factorization to make it into the multiplication, or it just gives you a certain number. So you should recognize this number to be 24 is 4 times 6, 40 is 8, 10, 10, 12, yeah, so something like that, right? So again, sorry, this is 3, yeah, actually it cannot split into 5, 8, or because this is 16, so this is 7, 12. So the difference is 5, yeah, difference 5. So actually, also, yeah, here you can see it's in Gaussian sum, right? So it's 1 to 2, 1 plus 2, 1 plus 2 plus 3, and 1 plus 4, 2 to the 2021. You need to use the Gaussian formula to turn it into the production and to get it. You will see from there. Yeah, so this is something we need to know. So the question point, so we know what they're talking about, but the question type differs, which means they have changes in the simple question. So you should understand the method, totally understand. Also, the indeterminate equation, so I mentioned before, the differential equation. And the last digit and the remainders, the remainder calculation, also you will see, so equation or a very terrible, right? So a very terrible exponent. So which means, so for this question, actually, if you know the Fermat-Euler theorem, in the secondary school, it will be easier for you to solve the question. Or otherwise, you should find the pattern for this exponent. And the pattern for remainder actually is 20. So do you think your kid is capable of listing all the 20 remainder to get the patterns? I don't know. And also the very difficult question for the 2017. Okay. And also, this is what they tested. And what do we get? So after I do the 10-year research for all the questions, I get something very interesting. So what's special for this RMO? So actually, when we see the RMO question, so what's the difference between RMO and NMOS or RMO and SMOS? So this is what we should focus. The first thing is that there are actually some secondary school knowledge tested in the RMO. So even at least for the primary 6, but there can be many of the primary, the secondary school stuff. For example, this is geometry. So it's asking something about the interior circle of a triangle. It's obviously a secondary school stuff, right? And for this, right? So for this indeterminate equation here, so actually there is a theorem to solve this type of question. It's called Silver's theorem. And so the approval of the Silver's theorem is always the first question when we learn the primary number theory in the secondary school. So if your kids are capable, so maybe just try to let them to know something about secondary school, or this may be not for the kid, it's for the teacher. So when a teacher teach kids in primary school MO, though in primary school MO, so maybe they can have some extensions to the secondary school areas. So it's very important. And then, so the second thing is that we should always understand why in RMO. So in NMOS, maybe we just need to know what and how. But in RMO, you should know why. For example, in this question, you will see, so this is a sum of an infinity sequence. And this is something about geometric sequence. But in geometric sequence, maybe we just know the series formula, right? So how to get the sum of a normal geometric sequence. However, if you only know the sequence here, you are not capable of solving this problem because this is not a regular geometric progression. So the numerator differs. The numerator is a Fibonacci sequence, right? But to solve this, you need to know how do we get to this geometric formula. So the multiplication and subtraction law to get to this formula. So why this formula is here. So you use the same method, then can you solve this question properly? So you should understand why instead of just knowing what and how. And also, there are some, one question that asks us for multiple acknowledgement. So I will show you something. So first, the 2015 questions, you will see that it's about number theory. There is LCM and HCF, but still it's about counting, right? There's how many different pairs are here. So it's a merging of number theory and counting. Also for this 2016 questions, you will see that, so it's basically a counting problem, but you will see after the counting, you will adding all the possibilities together, and here is a calculation problem. So the calculation of the sequence is not that easy. If a kid don't know maybe the sum of squares or the integer decomposition, they should know either of it, or can the kid just calculate it directly for this 9, 18 numbers? I don't think so. It's difficult for them, I believe. Okay. And also, this is a pattern that, so there is always repeating questions in different years. And the repeating questions are actually the difficult questions. So for example, the 2015 question, so you will see this is the most difficult question of that year. And the same question occurs in the 2018. It's just exactly the same method, the same way to do this, right? So just change the number 3 to 5. So this is a pattern, it's a symbol, it's a signal for us. So if you want to know, so what is the RIPMWC is about, maybe you just try to finish all the questions in the past years. So actually, there are over 60% of questions are exactly the same as the last year, which means if you are And even more for the past 3 years, maybe 80% crossovers with the past 3 years. So each year there will be 2 or 3 questions, which is new question type, not new knowledge, but new question type in each year. But the remaining 16 to 18, they are exactly the same as before. So this is a pattern here we can find. Yeah. Also, right? So about geometry progression. So it occurs both in the, so this is the 2016 and this is the 2019. So they occur each year, right? One after another. This is the pattern, so we can know. And then after knowing this, we can easily draw the conclusion about so how to prepare for our RMO. So first thing, which is the most important thing, is we should understand everything we learn. So in mathematics learning, so there is 3 levels. First is know what is the question about. And the second is how can we solve the problem, which method can be solved. But the third is most important, is the why. Why this method work? Why this theorem work? So how do we prove this to be correct? And why we use this method for this serial type of question? So we should understand this why. And by understanding, we can solve the difficult question in the RMO, as I mentioned before. Right? And second thing is that we should leave no doubt for past year questions. So so as the official announcement for RMO is released last week, right? So last week I received over 20 students asking about the RMO real questions. So it's very good for them. So just ask. So do the past year papers and ask questions. So make sure you understand every question. So it maybe not for the most difficult 1 or 2 questions each year, but for all the questions below difficulty level 4, I believe you should get it. And the third thing is that we should enhance the difficulty level to level 2 and level 3 questions, because they take part of the over 80% of the RMO paper. And this also works for the SMOPs and NMOS. So for some maybe not. So SMOPs we had 30 questions, and in SMOPs maybe the difficult question then took part for the maybe 30%. Yeah, maybe 30% in NMOS. In SMOPs are level 4 or 5 questions. But in RMO, especially for the first round, you will see that. So it's the level 2 and level 3 question that matters. And the fourth is to widen your knowledge pool. As mentioned, so in RMO, there will be something that is slightly beyond the primary school MOs. So if your teacher just teach you everything in the primary MO, it will not be enough for you to get a very good score in the RMO. So how to widen this? So this is not by intense, but it just, so for example, in my class, when I teach the kid about the remainder patterns, I will tell them the Fermat-Euler theorem. Though it's in secondary school stuff, but I will tell the kid, maybe I don't tell them how to prove this, but I will share you, hey, there is a theorem. So maybe sometimes you can use this to simplify the calculation of patterns. Also, when we talk about circles, do we just talk about the maybe area formula, the circumference formula? No. So sometimes I will tell them about the tangent of circles, tangent of lines, and the perpendicular of the radians and the tangent line, something like that, right? So this is not in primary school, but it's it's not that difficult for kids to learn, right? And also, there can be some questions in the RMO. They ask questions about this. So that is to say, so I always ask the kid to do not satisfy on those in the class, but it's also for the teacher. So if one teacher, an MO coach, satisfies those in the textbook, don't tell the kid about things in the textbook. I don't think it's a good, because RMO shows you. You can tell the kid more. You maybe not just run through the tutorial, but just let them know, introduce it to them. It's very important. And it's also for the parents, right? It's also for the parents. So to let kids learn more, it's very important. So my kid will blame me because in my class, maybe there are 20 questions in our textbook for each class, but I will always, so after finishing all the 20 questions, I will always give them maybe more, additional 20 questions, maybe additional, maybe not 20, yeah, maybe 10 or 12 questions in class. So just run at random, so just something that I think they should know, or I think there may be question about this. I think this is a little slightly beyond the current difficulty, but maybe in the future, something like that. So the extension for knowledge is very important if you want to prepare for the RMO. For NMOS, there's no need for an RMO, yes. Also, yeah, there is the SMOPS and NMOS and NMOS. We have done this, but at the time is limited, so because we held this after the SASMO, so I only have 1 hour, so we just skip there. So let's show, yeah, the basic analysis, what you have done. So if I have chance, I will talk to you about the SMOPS and the NMOS afterwards, because yeah, it's 1 month late than the, or maybe several months later than the RMO. Yeah, so today we just talk about RMO in the first game. Okay, so yeah, but I will show you this to ensure you that for all these 3 computations, so we have to thorough research. And I, as well as the whole competition team, yeah, believe we can provide you the best. So maybe, yeah, you can start with joining our WhatsApp and WeChat group for the learning resources. So the learning resources, as mentioned before, the free mock test, the free tuition of the book B, yeah, and you can ask any questions, yeah, about mathematics actually, about the 2 competitions in our group, and our teacher will answer you in time. Okay. And yeah, the last thing for today, yeah, it's not very official announcement, but I will tell you something is that this year, 2024, we will have an elite training project for all the P5 students. So maybe just I will give you a brief introduction of this, which means, so after the Chinese New Year, we will have 2 rounds of selection tests for all the P5 or below. So if you are P3 or if you are P4, maybe not for P3 a little bit young, too young. And if you are P4 students, and you can enter, but merely for P5 students. So we will have 2 rounds of selection tests, and I will select top 8 people of the current P5 students. So the first selection test is an online, and the second is a 1v1 in-person interview. So after that, I will select the 8 people from the P5 to join this class. And this class, right, so it will be the starting goal is this year's IMSO goal. So not only for NMOS is too easy. So to get NMOS, so I believe many of my P4 students have already achieved the NMOS goal. So the aim is the IMSO goal. So 12 students in the Singapore can enter IMSO. And maybe, yeah, because Singapore student is better than other countries. So I believe as long as you are a Singapore student, you enter IMSO, you can achieve the goal, right? So this is the goal for the P5 student. This is the highest achievement they can get in the P5, okay? And so we have a award for this kid. So if they finally achieve the IMSO goal, they will get over 5,000 coupons. So yeah, this is not a coupons, actually it's cash. So we will pay them in cash. Yeah, but we don't study for money. It's just it's an award for us. It's an award for us. So it's far more than the entrance fee for the project, right? So now you will see that we do, so actually the elite training project started last year for last year's P5 students. And so I have a class for actually the 8 students, and all of them achieved the NMOS gold, and the 3 of them achieved the NMOS 20. So I believe this year, so we can do it together. And the timeline for this, I will show you just a brief timeline. So right after the seminar, so maybe tomorrow, or maybe the day after tomorrow. So I will show you I will send into the group the sample paper of the selection test and also the solution. So I will give you the online solution. The question is a little bit difficult. Yeah, it's more difficult. It's the RMSO level, so which means it's even more difficult than the RMO for P5 students. Okay, so I will give you the sample paper and solutions, also the detailed information of this project to the group. So remember to join our group if you are interested in this. And after the Chinese New Year, the 17th and 18th of February, we will have the first selection test online. And after the online, so I will look at the papers, I will select the student who passed the first round. And the next week afterwards, so I will invite you to join our offline 1v1 diagonal and interview. So you can point my time actually. So it can be any time, just any afternoon from Monday to Friday actually. And then, so after that, the 8 candidates are determined. And then we will have, starting from the March to the July, we will have the 24 training classes and 12 mock tests. So these 8 people offline. So the time, I can adjust the time for students' need because there are only 8 students of them, right? We skip the NMOS first round because first round is so easy. So I believe my student can get even the full score in the first round. And then this is the first period before the NMOS special round, the second round, right? And then after that, we have another project for those who successfully entered the top 20 to help them to pack the selection for the 12 candidates in IMSO and help them to achieve the IMSO goal. Okay. Also, I will show you the Chinese version of it. I will show you the Chinese version. So this is the project we'll start just right after Chinese New Year. So this is just a broadcast of it. Okay, as the time is limited, so I just removed all the SMOPs and NMOS analyzer. Sorry for that. But if you're interested in this, so remember to join our group. So for WhatsApp group, the left, for the WeChat group, 微信群的右边的 for WeChat group to the right. So just join the group. I'm in the group, so you can ask any questions. So one of my work is just to answer the questions that parents send in the groups. So I'm a little bit busy, but I guarantee you to answer all the questions you posted for me within 3 hours, maybe 3 hours. But do not post the question too late. So if you post it maybe in the 1 a.m., something like that, maybe I cannot answer in the 4 a.m., but maybe 7 a.m. or 8 a.m., something like that. Considering the sleeps. Okay. Then be sure to join the group. So there are many resources to learn, to prepare for the 3 competitions in our groups. Just join it. Okay. And then finally for today, so I want to share something. I've shared this before in the TASMO, in the TASMO ceremony. So, but I think it's very important for you to share those who have interest in mathematics computation, right? If you just want to learn the mathematics, so maybe not, but if you want to learn the computation, do the computations, you want to have something in the MO, this is very important for you. This is not about what you learn, but how you learn. So first thing is, so what is the logic of mathematics? So when we use mathematics to solve certain problems, it's always these 3 strategies. The first is to make complex questions into simple ones, to make strange questions into familiar ones, and their final goal is to make unknown questions to known ones. So this is the way we analyze questions. This is the way we solve questions. So all the questions here follow this logic. And I will tell the students something like, there's a joke about, so if I happen to broke 2 of my legs, very unfortunate, right? So what should I do? I should buy me a wheelchair, right? I should buy me a wheelchair. But what if I just only have 1 of my legs broken? So for normal people, they may think that I might buy a wand, or buy a staff, something like that, right? It's been now. But for a mathematician, they will think that. So what's the familiar thing? I know what to do if I have 2 legs broken. So now if I only have 1 leg broken, I can break another one. So then it makes the familiar cases that I have 2 legs broken, I can buy me a wheelchair. The same logic. But it's not true, actually, it's not true. But actually, so I can pretend that my other leg is broken, so I can buy me a wheelchair as well, right? So now that's the logic for mathematics, especially for the difficult questions. So those in the RMOs, right, you will see. So the difficult question in RMOs, you can use this way to analyze the question to get the answer. Also, as I mentioned before, there are 3 levels, right? There are 3 levels for the mathematical learning. It's the what, the first level, what. Second level, how. Third level, why. So as mentioned, so RMO, they tested a lot of questions about why. So you should understand this why, which is very, very important. Okay? So okay, I just 1 hour. So maybe this is all I want to share. So sorry for that, the time change and content is shortened. So just sorry for that, but I hope you get something useful today. Okay? And sorry for the Chinese parents, so the whole is in English. But now, yeah, we start the 答疑环节. We can ask questions. So yeah. So now I just keep the pages here. And so you can ask questions. So both in the YouTube channel and in the WeChat. So if I see the questions in the WeChat group, you ask question in Chinese, I answer you in Chinese. Okay? So can I have a PPT later? Of course. So I will send the PPT. Yeah. So 家长们用中文问问题，我就用中文答哈。然后如果用英文问问题，我就if you ask question in English, I will answer in English. But I cannot see the YouTube subscription, so maybe Xinyi can help me. So if there is questions, parents asking questions, you can maybe send me. Yeah, send me through Gmail. Okay, if any questions. So if not, I will wait till maybe the 9:30. Yeah. 我们等到9点半钟。那有问题可以随时问哈。Well. Okay. If going through questions or papers about what? So student asking about, do we go through questions or papers about the past year paper? About past year paper? About past year paper, actually. So we have already run through all the questions by modules in our long-term course. So if you want a thorough, right, you want a thorough run through for the past year questions, so you may try to join our spring class. Yeah, the spring class will be held in the public holiday in March. Also, if you join the group, so we will send solutions of the past year papers. But maybe we can see some videos. You can see some videos of past year papers. 哪里可以拿到 RMO 第1、第2轮的真题啊？真题的话进群就有啊，就是进微信群就能领到真题啊，就是进微信群就能领到真题。能不能分享真题标上难度星号？哎，这个其实比较有意思，就是现有的是真题，我们是只有题目跟知识点的。但如果家长们就需要难度的话，其实我们在讲解真题的时候是会告诉孩子这个题是几星的难度的题。但我不觉得把难度星级直接标在题目上是一件好事。就我不觉得，因为这样一来，我觉得孩子要有一个自己独立判断题目难度的能力，这个是很重要的。因为会有很多的孩子，就比如说他会在一个难题上面卡死，对吧？他会在一个难题上面把自己卡死，连这个是一个就是跟难题较劲，然后死活做不出来，这是一个不太好的一个习惯。所以我觉得孩子应该有能力自己去判别。那如果我把难度告诉孩子，其实就是这样，就是对孩子其实不是很好。所以我觉得这个东西是有意义的，但是并不很适合就是去发布出来，并不适合去发布出来，更适合是老师讲解的时候告诉他，哎，这个题是几星的。孩子学校有报名 RMO 和 NMOS 的比赛，有哪些相应的培训课程 ？OK， 那我们目录回这一 page。So just 先说 RMO 吧，因为 NMOS 还比较早一点。NMOS 的话，我觉得如果你孩子现在是几年级， 就如果是现在孩子是5年级的孩子的话，其实 NMOS 更建议加入我们的长期班学习，就是通过我们的入学测试看能否考进我们的竞赛长期班。就是我们的竞赛长期班基本就是在5年级的话，就是以 NMOS 备考为目标，在学习知识点和做复习的。然后点呢，就是包括 RMO 的话，我们主要就是这里会写，就是从新年之后回来，就是群内会有公益课啊，群内会有一个每周的公益课，这个是大家都可以听、都可以参加的啊。点呢，就是5年级对吧？就是这样，就是 RMO 的话，就是我先进入群里面，我们每周会有公益课，然后后面会组织4轮模考课程。然后在3月那个公共假期，3月10号到18号那段时间，我们会有一个短期的冲刺课，大概是5到6节的短期冲刺的课程。因为它只有1个月就考试了，所以就没有长期课程，长期课已经快上完了。我们自己针对 RMO 的备考长期班已经上了20多节课了，就已经快上完了。好，所以呢，then 就是 NMOS 的话，我建议，因为时间还比较早，而且5年级更适合系统的学习，可以咨询我们的老师，然后去做一个竞赛班的一个诊断，看孩子能不能够进入咱们的竞赛长期班。如果孩子学习学的特别不错的话，也可以试一下我后面会开设的那个精英培训计划，对吧？也可以看孩子能不能成功进入我们的精英培训计划，那能的话自然是最好。不过那个要求其实还是蛮高的，因为就是至少你4年级有，就是那个班的孩子至少4年级就得有一个 NMOS 精，可能差不多有那个班的水平啊，要求会高一些。Okay, and then back to the. So when is the RMO book collection? So what are you giving out? So if in TA competition class, still need to collect RMO book and tutorial. So actually, if you are a P5 student, so if you're a P5, current P5 student, so I think you can collect the book because the book is, so the RMO and small preparation book, I have 100 questions. So to cover all the question type in the RMO or SMOS. So I believe, so this 100 question can cover all, which means, but yeah, you will see that there are more questions in our long-term course than in long-term course. So of course, our long-term course covers everything you need for the RMO, but this book is more specific. Yeah, it's more focused, which means you can take the book and that can do it as a practice. Anyway, it's free, right? Anyway, it's free. And about the tutorial class, or the tutorial class, the mock test, the tutorial for the mock test, or the spring class. I think you can either join it or not, so it's okay. So actually, our long-term class, the single-time long-term class, the competition class, have covered all you need in the RMO. But if you think you need a focused preparation for them, you can just join a competition class. So which are the competitions for P4? So P4, so NMOS, you can enter NMOS for P4 if you have already learned enough. So I believe you can try, because to get the silver is easy. So try NMOS in P4, try to get the silver or even the gold. So actually, 5 of my students get NMOS gold in P4, and even 1 of them even get top 20. So maybe you can try NMOS, and if not NMOS, maybe the SASMO. You can try the SASMO first, because SASMO is earlier in the SASMO is in March. SASMO is March. So you can try SASMO first. And then to decide whether we'll let the kid to enter the NMOS. Also, if school allow you to take part in the RMO, you can try it. So maybe a P4 student cannot get a very good grade in RMO, but it's a good practice anyway, right? Okay. Back to the WhatsApp group. Yes, back to WeChat. No question from WeChat? Or is something? Okay, I'll wait till the 9:30. So back to the group QR code. Yeah, the group QR code. Yeah. Maybe no more questions? Tips for SMOPS and any preparation class. Yeah, okay, SMOPS. So for SMOPS, actually, yeah, I prepared a slide for the SMOPS actually. So, but yeah, there's a time limitation, so I just share the RMO ones. Yeah, sorry for that. So yeah, about SMOPS actually, so we can, yeah, following this. So yeah, you can see here. So first thing is that we have the in the public holiday, right? So we have five classes in the public holiday for spring class. So this spring class is both for the SMOPS and the RMO. You will see that the difficulty for SMOPS and RMO, I have mentioned before, they are similar, right? But the difference is that the SMOPS focus more on the countings, and RMO focus more on the calculations. But for the other modules, the question type, yeah, the difficulty, they are similar. So we always, so in our long-term class, we just pair both of them together. But it's also work for the spring class. So actually, so if you want the tutorial, so maybe join our spring class. And also after that, we'll have the mock test and the tutorial about APMOPS. Okay. Which type of achievement in MO should I use for DSA? So yeah, if you want to do DSA math, so I encourage you to get the NMOS top 20, at least gold. NMOS top 20, at least gold. SMOPS at least gold. RMO high distinction. Okay, so high distinction for MO, gold for SMOPS, gold for NMOS. Yeah, it will be enough, but not that enough. Enough for you to get a KIT, but cannot ensure you to enter the DSA. If you want to ensure, so which kind of student can ensure to get the DSA route? NMOS top 20, SMOPS platinum, RI top 1. Yeah, something like that. Elite 班免费吗？Elite 班我简单说一下它的逻辑是这个样子的哈，就是 Elite 班呢，就是我们会看到它只邀请这8个人，然后它不会免费，但是就是它会提供一个远高于学费的奖学金。它逻辑大概是这样子，就比如说当然价格还没有最终确定For example， 我第1期课程的价格是2400，那么你只要能够拿到 NMOS 金，我就给你2400元现金的返还。如果你能拿到 NMOS 的 Top 20， 你能拿到前20，那就会是一个1.5倍，就是3600块钱的奖学金返还。就是它不是免费的课程，它对你的成绩有一定要求，但是只要你的成绩能够达到标准，你就是免费，甚至是白赚。白赚还有点奇，白赚这个说法有点奇怪，但事实就是这个样子。 就是如果你能够，比如说你能够顺利通过这个班级，你拿到了 IMSO 的金牌，那事实上就是你交的是3000多块钱的学费，然后你能拿到5000多块钱的奖学金，大概是这样的一个水平。当然了，如果对吧，就是不管因为什么样的原因 fail 了，那就不免费了。所以要考试，就是我只邀请，就是通过筛选的前8个孩子，就不会往里面加人。然后如果这8个孩子中有人不上了，我也不会往里面补。一日的班1轮几个人？1轮人数不确定，就是1轮我会选择就是卷面达到我要求的人数了。就是比如说就是这个如果我出一套卷子，我觉得我的标准我只收50分以上的孩子，那50分以上如果有20个人，我就面试20个。如果有40个人，我就面试40个，然后我从面试筛8个人。但如果只有6个人通过超过50分，那我也只要这6个孩子，就哪怕我招满8个人，我也只要这6个孩子。但是我会设一个我认为我需要孩子达到的分数线，达不到就不 OK。所以它不是一个确定的人数，我不给确定人数。他甚至可以不到8个人，如果真的就是参加的孩子不够我的标准，我就不要了。导引刷题班，导引刷题班讲完了，导引刷题班讲完了。导引刷题班是其实像这个 Elite Project， 就去年的那个 Elite Project， 就是现在就是把导引基本上已经刷完了。现在讲到了第几讲？讲到了组合，那就是还差4讲就讲完了。然后可以等明年吧，等明年。NMOS 结束之后会开，一般就是，因为导引的其实用导引题最多的是 RMO 了，就是 RMO 跟华中会喜欢用导引的原题，所以如果刷高斯导引的话，我们一般会在 P5 之后去开，可以自己先刷。然后如果中文 OK 的话，你可以去，就是中国大陆讲高斯导引的应该还挺多的吧。就是我一般是 P5 下学期去开高斯导引的课，然后 P5 上学期，就是因为 P5 上学期就是各种各样的竞赛，所以以竞赛针对性的备考冲刺为主。下学期没有竞赛了，我就开导引刷题，一般是这样的一个节奏，所以可能得等下学期了，就等7月份以后吧。那如果你们关注 Elite 选拔的话，其实就是我明天或者后天会发一个选拔的真题出来，对吧？就是真题啊，选拔的那个样卷出来，然后大家可以看一下，就让孩子做一做，差不多100分的卷子做个50分就那个，就差不多100分的卷子做个50分是能够过我1轮筛选。50分做不到的话呢，建议考虑一下要不要报，也可以报名让孩子试一下。但主要这个题目很难，我怕就是我主要担心的一个点就是孩子自信心受挫。这个卷子不简单的，如果大家看过 IMSO 的真题的话，就知道这个卷子其实是不简单的，它比 RMO 还要难。而且因为是我出的题，就是里面有因为里面会有我自己出的新题，所以它的难度可能对新加坡孩子会更高一点。因为新加坡很多孩子是靠刷题再学数学，所以一定会有他们见都没见过的题。OK， 时间差不多了。That's time's up. Yeah, time's up. Okay, thank you for tonight. And I will share the slides to the groups. And also, yeah. Okay, thank you for that. Oh, 关播口。哎。